The ultimate split face test, Charlotte Tilbury versus E.L.F. Two of my favorite brands. How do they stack up? Hello, beautiful people. This is Anne, Fabulous Life 101. On my channel, I cover makeup and skincare, occasionally fashion and travel, basically things that make you feel fabulous at any age. If you're interested in this type of content and you're not already a subscriber, could you please hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications right now? Thanks so much. Well, today I decided to do a split face test with two of my very favorite brands. One of my favorite high-end brands, Charlotte Tilbury, and one of my favorite budget brands, E.L.F. This side of the face, all Charlotte Tilbury. This side of the face, all E.L.F. So anyway, I'm going to show you exactly what I used and if I have any preferences. So stay tuned. Now, my first step in this side-by-side face test is the primers. And on the right side, I'm going to be using Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Sunscreen Invisible UV Flawless Primer from Charlotte Tilbury. On the left side, Sun Touchable Wow Glow SPF 30 Sunscreen Sun Protection and Makeup Primer from E.L.F. So this one does have a stronger sunscreen, this Charlotte Tilbury one. It comes up slightly beige in color, very creamy. And let's just spread it empty. Now the Sun Touchable. This is one of the newer products from E.L.F. Again, also beige in tint and very creamy. And let's just spread it down. Right. Now for the foundation. Charlotte Tilbury side, I'm using Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation, 6 Neutral, and just a couple of drops. Not going heavy with either side. Take a brush. It's my favorite way of applying this. This is one of my favorite foundations, but this I think may compare favorably. This is the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide, full coverage, natural finish, and this is in shade 280N. The colors of these are very, very close. Next up, concealers. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer in 5 Medium. Dot along here. And on this side, you have E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer, Satin Finish, and Light Sand. Again, both colors seem to be the best match for my skin, so use fingers on both sides to apply and blend. My next step is my brows. For the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm using the Brow Cheat in Soft Brown, and for the E.L.F., I'm using the Instant Lift Brow Pencil in Taupe. So these colors, even though they had different names to them, the colors were about the closest I could find. So let's start with the Charlotte Tilbury eye. This sort of a thin rectangular point. And it has a nice little brush to comb through and set. All right, on this E.L.F. side, now all of the E.L.F. products are of course cheaper. This one was really cheaper. This is only $3. Now this is more of a point, and it seems to be a little more gel-like in texture, but I think the effect will be about the same. Now I do believe I like the application of the Charlotte Tilbury one slightly better. But for $3, you can't go wrong. Okay, the brows. And this one does also have a little styling element here. So now on to the wands. Okay, on this side, Charlotte Tilbury wands, and on this side, the new E.L.F. Halo Glow wands. Now the Charlotte Tilbury ones are slightly more product. This is 0.40 fluid ounces, and these are 0.33 fluid ounces, but these range in price from like $39 to about $42. These are $9. So I'm going to start with the contour wands. I've got one of each. I'm going to start this under the cheekbone, along the jawline, and a dot or two on the forehead. And now with this one, the Halo Glow Beauty Wand, and this you just basically squeeze. And again, let's put it under the cheekbone, along the jawline, and a couple of dots on the forehead, and let's blend. Both products of mine are very similar in color, in blending, and application. All right, next, these are my favorite wands, the blush wands. This one is Pinkgasm from Charlotte Tilbury. And let's see, I already got some on here, so let's put a little dot on here. And here is the Very Radiant Blush from E.L.F. A little bit on here. I blend again. And the final one is, this is Goldgasm from Charlotte Tilbury. And the Highlight Liquid Gold from E.L.F. More blending. Of course, another great comparison. This is the Halo Glow Liquid Filter from E.L.F. I'm going to just put a couple of dots along here. Maybe a little bit up here. A little bit down here. And this is the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, just get the hair out of the way. A couple of dots here, here, here. The E.L.F. has a bigger wand. Blend that in. That just gives a little extra glow. You can also put this on before the foundation. Particularly if you're not wearing a primer, this can actually give you a little bit of glow. The final steps are the eyes and the lips. When it comes to pencils and liners for the eyes, Charlotte Tilbury definitely has more options, more colors. But what I'm going to compare today, I do have this chunky one from Charlotte Tilbury as well, but I'm going to just compare these two pencils. This is the E.L.F. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner, and this is the classic eye powder pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's start with the Charlotte Tilbury eye. So now onto the E.L.F. eye, and this one is a roll up, but it's also a very smooth black. I do think the E.L.F. one gives a little heavier coverage, if that's what you're going for. Now, I'm not going to compare palettes today. I've had palettes from both. I've got a lot of Charlotte Tilbury palettes. The E.L.F. palettes are more simple, more basic. But what I'm going to do is actually compare these little pots. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, and this is the E.L.F. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow. The Charlotte Tilbury is in Pillow Talk. The E.L.F., the shade is called Canyon. Now, the big difference I'm going to notice right away with this is that Charlotte Tilbury has a little more shine. But let's see how it actually, when you actually blend it on the eye. See, it's nice and creamy. Now let's try a little E.L.F. This actually has more shine on the eye, although it doesn't quite sparkle like the Charlotte Tilbury. But both are nice, soft cream eyeshadows. Mascara and then lips. E.L.F. did not offer a lot when it came to pencils. Charlotte Tilbury had more of the traditional pencil. What I did find from E.L.F. was the Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. And this is like an actual triangle shaped as opposed to a little point, but let's go ahead and go with it. And on the Charlotte side, I am using the Pillow Talk Lip Pencil. Trying to get them equal. For my lipsticks, I'm using this shade from Pillow Talk, which is called Wedding Bells, and this shade from E.L.F., which is called Dirty Talk. And notice the colors are very, very similar. So let's The textures and the colors are both very, very similar. So that's kind of my look today, using the two different sides. The Charlotte Tilbury, I noticed in some things the formulas did feel a little bit more luxurious, and others they're very, very similar. The foundations especially. The wands, I really, really am impressed with these new E.L.F. wands. And the Halo Glow versus the Flawless Filter, both really compare very well. I do feel like the eye and lip products, maybe the Charlotte Tilbury has a slight edge, but overall, you can't go wrong with either brand. So that's the video for today. If you liked it, can you give me the thumbs up? Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day. Peace, love, and light.